What is pussy popping, you beautiful humans? My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin The Tea, where we
sip the tea and our guests
spill that tea. Yes!
You can get it on iTunes for free $3.99.
Girl, cheers the hell out of that. You really can get it for free $3.99.
We have
Miss Mama's over here.
We got a little glitty glit over here.
And girl, she's tight, she's toned, she's Kristine Elezaj, honey. Songstress, fitness guru, honey. She's bringing the Zaj FIt to town. And, we did a little session outside before this, and, oh, girl, I got a little sweaty under the collar. My love, you're here.
I'm here.
Give me some love.
Family reunited on the couch.
Hey, boo, hey.
Hey.
How are you?
There's your auntie.
Mama. Oh, I miss Mama. She's like, this is my seat.
She's like,
right?
She's a star. Yes, work girl.
Like, yes, girl.
Let's
Welcome
pop,
to my
girl.
couch.
Okay, so we're just gonna dive right on in. Miss
Yes.
Ready?
Thing. Okay, so
Ooh.
okay.
That was a
I'm
sip.
ready to spill, honey.
Okay, it's like we need you to spill, girl. Okay, so music has always been how you started your career. That's from day one.
Yeah.
And we're gonna dive in with Zaj FIt. But let's take it back. Take us through the journey and how your music career even started.
It is a journey.
Yes, girl.
So I've been doing this a minute. I started professionally right out of high school. My parents wouldn't let me do it until after I graduated, which is like a blessing and a curse because it's like I wanted to be in it so bad. To condense the story, I actually got my start. I went down to Ashford and Simpson's bar, Sugar Bar in the city. I was probably like 17 or 18 years old.
New York people.
New York.
New
I am a
York.
New Yorker.
Can't tell, girl.
Oh my God. Don't get me mad. I sang Aretha Franklin's Respect, and in the middle of singing, Valerie and Nick started singing backup for me. So that was kind of like the start of the career of them being like, can I do it? And I guess that was validation that they started singing and they didn't like yank me off the stage.
Not bad, girl.
Right?
That's a start.
Motown Legends.
Love.
So from there, it was just kind of like a process of trying to find my sound, learning how to songwrite, because that's kind of like what the bulk of the business is and where you make your money.
Totally. That cheap.
Yeah, that publishing. And then it was just kind of like a building process from there. It was like the demos would get into this person's hands, this lawyer. And then eventually I started my own company, but then got signed. And then that was kind of like a whole debacle.
Yeah, girl.
Which I was thinking about this earlier. I actually started in the business when social media wasn't even a thing. So it was just based on your
And she's
talent.
still only 19 years old,
right.
people.
I'm dating myself.
Young.
Just trying to help you out, sister.
No, I mean,
Trying to
like,
help
it's looking better than ever, so thank God.
It's like fine wine, you get better with time.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I have looked back on those pictures when I was younger, and it's like, thank God social media didn't exist.
No,
No.
it's all part of your
Yeah.
journey and finding yourself as a woman.
Yeah. I mean, everything. I can't actually, looking back on things, even if it bothered me at the time of going through it, it served a purpose
100%.
for who I am now. Yeah. So there's
The
no...
woman you became.
Amen.
I
I
love
like
that.
her. I like her a lot.
She's a good chick, girl.
Yeah.
She's popping.
Hey, girl.
She is popping. So you had multiple hits, the music, the visuals to the music, everything kind of was at its peak. But there was a line in the background of every, social media, you brought it up, that you would be sharing fitness and all of this kind of stuff while you were like at peak of music.
Yeah.
So take us through Zaj FIt now, because I feel like this has been in the making for
A long time.
for a
from the
while,
inception
yeah.
of music.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do all those things. It's part of the artist lifestyle, is like keeping yourself in shape. And like, for me too, it was just kind of like also mentally keeping healthy, because your schedule's so crazy. You're in the studio, ridiculous amount of hours. You're around interesting people. It was kind of like my Zen place. And then it became this like glorified hobby where it's like on social media, people were asking me like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
how is this, how are you getting that body? And then they were shocked when I'd say I never go to the gym. Like, I hate going to the gym. Which was,
Cheers you on that one, girl.
I
Cheers.
can't cheer you.
Yeah.
I know.
alright.
Ari's like,
But I'm
girl.
gonna take a little sip. though.
I'm like, my ADD, I just don't like people also like looking at me. I like being in my own flow.
Or guys coming up to you trying to be like, "Hey, girl, let me get that
like
number."
I'm trying
You're
to
like,
do a
"Can I
set,"
get
and
my
they're like-
workout in, please?"
I'm like, ooh, weird. I'm like,
Unless you're like, that's so weird. Come on.
No, but then also, I mean, when we were traveling,
I was like, that schedule of yours, they must have had a motherfucker of a publicist.
To Matt.
Kept you on the grind.
Oh my God. I mean, we were literally like, our call times were like 1 or 2 a.m. to start getting ready. And then our call times were like 4 or 5 in the morning.
And that was the travel days where we'd go to every goddamn state.
And then
we've seen America, girl.
Yeah, we've seen it. And then we were on a plane every night.
Yeah.
So the last thing when you land that you want to do is go to a gym or maybe there wasn't even a gym where we went to. So I was packing bands in my bag and working out in my room. And then
the inception, sneaky. She's got ideas.
And then I was like just tweaking the bands that I had because I didn't like, they would flip, they'd roll, they would rip on me because I was using them so much. And then
you've been telling me all about this.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I just tweaked, the product and then just made my own. And then that's where they came from.
And girl, let me tell you, they are so bomb. I mean, what's so great about them is that they don't move. And like you said, it came out of frustration of like not having the gym, them rolling 24/7. Like literally when I use them, it like burns the hell out of this booty pop.
And hey, that's some booty. I mean, and too, like after you do like something repetitious for so long, it also becomes easy. He's like, don't look at me.
Well, I went like this, repetitious bands, I was like, oh, what do you mean?
But he's just like naturally gifted with that bod.
Bye.
No, but you get, it starts
Can we get somebody on the outside to throw us some of the bands? Where did you put them?
I know, I actually put them in the...
Jordan, can we grab them and throw them in at us?
I was trying to be slick with it, but I'm
going rogue. Let's go rogue.
Yeah, this is
go
how we do it.
rogue.
I realized once we started rolling, I was like, they're not here.
The bands.
Do you see them?
Here they come. Here they come.
Sorry, guys. What a...
No,
this is how fun it is.
Started, but this is all about how it's real and authentic, Like
seriously, as soon as it started rolling, I was like, and the bands are in the other room.
It's all good. Okay, well, we're going to talk about this.
Yes.
With having a music career and having fitness, for someone who's doing multitasking.
Boom.
I consider you're like me, girl. And
we
trades.
talk about
you
this.
Do
yeah.
everything. How do you manage keeping a balance and not letting like one slip away from the other with the music and the fitness career?
I think
yes.
With me, and like Matt would know this, I have a lot of checks and balances with my family because they're like all entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So it's like I get asked like every morning, like when we're just like checking in, like things that maybe like I'll forget, like one of them will remember. And they're like, oh, like how'd this go? And I'm like, damn, like there's so many things, like I'm being held accountable to like, which is good. It's like all in love too.
Honey.
Oh, that family is like, no, they're like, they're not messing around. But I think also too, just like learning from my mistakes of like things that maybe I wanted to do better, even in music, that I'm like, there's certain things I invited in and I can't blame outside entities for certain things if I failed. Like I allowed certain situations to a certain extent. So it's like, if I went through it enough times to know to not do something and I kept doing it, it was my fault. So I think it's just kind of checking into the things that I know didn't work or that I didn't feel good about. Like if I was, at the end of the road, I'm like, damn, I could have did that better. And just always checking in with myself and just.
I think, yeah.
I like that. That's a nice perspective. I think checking in with yourself across the board with whatever you're doing is the most vital part of like growth.
1,000.
And the perspective that you have now from what you've been through, ups, downs.
Yeah,
circles.
and you can't be too hard on yourself either because I'm never been this age that I am now, and I don't know what it's going to be like next year. So it's like, just take it easy and go with the flow. And like the things that you know that are in your control, do the best that you can. And then,
yes.
Spit it out, girl. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
And then, just work from there, like baby steps. Not everything needs to be done all at once. And that was my problem. Like I had all these ideas and I was like, oh my God, like I'm trying to do everything. And it's like, no, just do like a little bit at a time and do it well. And
yes. Right here, girl.
Yes.
Hey,
you gotta say
I'm like a little bit at a time. Don't be too hard on yourself. And then just do that little bit at a time and do it well.
Yeah, I think that like goes with everything in life. We're so used to like instant gratification. We have Amazon, we have the Grubhub, we have all this that it's like instant gratification that we get so lost up in, especially in LA, getting lost in the hustle and bustle of wanting to like look at this person, look at this, what this person's doing this person's doing that, instead of being like, you know what, let me just do one step at a time. It's a freaking marathon, not
and everything on social media, you don't know what the backstory is behind it either.
God,
so it's like you're looking at it and you're
thinking, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm comparing myself to something that like we're all dealing with the same emotions. It's just wrapped in a different package for us.
Ooh.
So
Yeah. Girl, say it over there again.
She got these nuggets.
She's like, I'm coming in hot.
Yeah. Now we're all dealing with the same emotions. They're just wrapped in a different package for all of us.
Yes.
So it's like
I've never actually I've thought of it like that, but that sentence surmises it so perfectly.
Yeah, you think you're alone, and it's like, no, like, you just start talking to people and you realize, like, like, we're dealing with the same thing. Just how you're giving it is just tweaked a little bit different
delivery
from mine.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting point in the delivery of things and how that kind of comes through and how everybody handles it. Because I'm like, I feel like we all have the very same problems.
Yeah.
Living, breathing, getting out of bed, doing the whole thing.
Yeah, and you don't realize that once you start being vulnerable with the people around you, like, it makes them feel safe to be like, oh my God, like, I feel that way. And then it's like, it creates this community of people, like, that's supportive. And then you're able to actually move forward in the steps of your life because you don't, that weight of feeling like I'm alone is not there anymore.
Ooh.
You're like relating now.
Strengthens friendships too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
When we share things, I feel like bonded and closer, and I'm like, shit, I'm not on my own island.
Yeah, it's like, it's so important. I feel like everyone's so used to, like, they want to be perfect. And listen, like, who doesn't want to, like, look good and feel good?
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's like,
What are you talking about?
we're human. I know, I just fluffing.
Everybody?
We keep fluffing ourselves.
Go.
So I want to ask this question because there is no secret to success. And you're hitting some very good nuggets right now. But what would you say if there was a secret? What has been the secret for you of, like, being able to be successful in music and now having, you know, the fitness line? What would you say is that secret, if there was one, of what you feel like you've learned?
You know what? It's so funny. I would, like,
Because
watch.
there's no real secret. But
There is no real secret. And I would watch interviews like this, like when you're, like, younger, or like, and you're, like, listening to this question and you're, like, expecting something, like, so, like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yes. And I realized that everyone says something so simple. And you're like, oh, that's ridiculous. And then, like, as you go through things, you're like, oh, it is so simple. Like, I realized I always came back to my gut instinct. And it's like everything that never, ever worked out was because I was fighting myself, actually. Instead of, like, standing up for myself and being like, hey, like, this is a good idea, I'd be like, oh, they've been doing it longer. Or instead of, like, fighting for a little bit more and just trying, I would give my power away and have it kind of go down a road a little bit until it would come back around. And it's like, damn, like, my gut instinct in the beginning was right. Like, don't be an asshole, but, like, fight a little bit more because everyone started where you started.
Well, be an asshole to a certain degree. Come on now, Chad.
I know there's been people that are like, you need to be a little bit more of a bitch.
Yes!
It's a balance. So you have to, I mean, I will say
being a bitch is a balance?
there's a balance there too.
Yeah.
There's a balance because if you're too nice, you get the nice person finishes last. But if you're too much of an asshole, people don't want to work with you because they're like, you're a cunt.
Yeah, it's like,
It's the middle ground.
I
was
think it
like,
just
we went
comes
back to
down-
episode 1.
Yeah. It comes down to respect, like, all across the board. Like, I think people want to work with people that it's like they just feel respected and valued for what they're giving.
Totally.
And
Without having to say it, though. Because
Yes.
it's like a respect level of, like, I get you. The road is bumpy,
yeah,
but it's chill. We're good.
yeah.
We can still move forward. I will say there's one thing I think your success can be based on. I think, outside looking in.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it from the time we worked together.
Yeah.
And you mentioned already the fact that it's like the Kardashians. The Elezajs are like a fucking clan.
Yeah, we really are.
And I think that having that backbone support, I'm sure at times you're like, bye, go away.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
And then
It's a family at the end of the day, too. So you have that dynamic.
Yeah, it's so like it's beautiful to watch. And I always took that was my takeaway from all of it. Like we would travel.
And, you know,
Your dad
there's no
would,
filter.
but
My dad
Daddy would show up.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's beautiful to see. And I think that's something, whether you realize it or not, is definitely your road to success because together you are strong.
Wait, I realized, like everything that we do. I mean, I didn't even mention this, which he's probably gonna laugh when he sees this. My brother is my partner in my fitness company.
Hey, bro.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting, even how he got involved. I remember he got involved in fitness because he was going through some stuff in his life, and he was hanging out with me at the gym. He was like, "Can I come with you? I don't feel myself." He's down. I think at the time he went through a breakup, and we just wanted to hang out, and it was. I'm working out all the time. He's like, "You just seem so happy after you do this. Like, let me just come." So we had this trainer in New York that we would go to a few times a week. God bless her, because she literally heard everything in between all the stuff we were going through. It was like a therapy.
She's like, what?
Working on my butt at the same time.
Wait, with these,
Yes,
honey.
but then literally
Hello.
it turned into this. So it's like, My brother loved it so much he went back to school for it. So even though he works for the family's company, he was like, I'm gonna find every bit of knowledge I can because he was so passionate about it.
Love it.
And he became a personal trainer and a wellness coach, like on the side. So his expertise too is, what's involved in this company. So it's not just there's education behind it and passion, and we're family. So you're getting like, who better than your family than to coach other people? We're not going to hurt each other or lead each other down a wrong road.
We might deck each other along the way.
Trust me, there's moments where it's like,
I was
there's
like,
no
come
filter.
on, Kristine.
No, it's for real. Yeah. I mean, we're growing together. So it's like
fabulous, I think.
I think that is dope, especially because it's like, it's crazy how you're on this journey of life, right? Thinking that maybe I'm going down this path, or why did this happen to me? But it's something that like what he was going through, and at like the time you not having like the gym and all these things, how you guys were able to come together and create something so amazing. And again, people forget that mental health is just as important as physical health. So it's like you guys are doing something that's
so
so
for sure, man.
Well, even everything with the music and with the fitness company, people were like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm actually don't want people to think of it as training their bodies. I want you to think of it as training your mind. Because once you start doing that, like, you don't realize, like, you could be simple example, you're on a treadmill, saying you're like running and you're like, it's like this frustration, you start creating these patterns in your head. Well, yeah, it's going to feel harder.
It's true.
It's like I think we go back to baby steps. It's like those thoughts are going to come in. You're going to be hard on yourself sometime. Nobody's perfect. It's like we're all human. I think we forget that at the end of the day. And
the pressure.
It's like
the pressures of just living.
Yeah. So just like, again, it's like baby steps. And literally, I'll be in the middle of sets or doing things, and it's like I'm talking to myself, and like it almost becomes meditation at a certain point.
I just thought she said something else, honey. I'd be in the middle of sex, and she's like, let me just groove the band real quick.
How does your brain go?
I know.
Girl, I want some.
I close my eyes.
I want some tea, girl. I want some tea. You got a new baby daddy? What's going on? I went off script, honey. That is not even.
It's like press 101, like all those things that they tell you. It's like, what is a deflection question?
You just go back to the band. So you're like, so right now I'm really just working on myself. And
let me tell you about that butts call.
But you're got a nice man.
I mean, there's situations
somebody
and stuff.
Oh, situation.
I mean, like,
sip it, girl.
Oh,
I just spiked it.
I should have.
Here's your situation.
I just got a little sweaty for you, girl. You just over here put her right on the spot.
We'll put you on the spot after in the behind the scenes, girl.
No. I haven't done press in in a little while. I've been like.
I just thought I'd throw you a curveball.
He's like, here's the.
I trained her well. Namaste.
I was like, and you know me, I'm very like, am I blushing through my blush?
Here, girl, I got you. So we just gonna switch right on over.
Let's get it poppin'.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Oh yeah, rapid fire. You think this is gonna get any better? It's not gonna get any better.
I got some rapid fires for you.
Ooh,
okay, rapid. If you won $1 million, what would be the very first thing you would buy?
I don't even think it would be something for myself. I think I would like set like my siblings, like, because they're starting to have families and stuff. I mean, I'm going on my 4th nephew is like on his way. So
and they're so cute, these nuggets.
They're adorable. So I think like my dad has this saying, and this is it's like I always go back to like family stuff because he drops little nuggets. He's like, no matter what I've done in life, and there's a lot of success that comes, he's like, but I'd rather be rich together than wealthy alone.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's like,
girl, say that one there over there. Whistling out his quotes.
Right?
It's like, I'd rather be rich together than wealthy alone.
And that's like, credited to Papa.
Papa,
sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that might sound pretentious, like a little way, but it's like, no, like, because it's like everybody.
At all.
Yeah. And it's so much more fun that way. It's like when everyone's just like relaxed and there's no competition, everyone's good. Like,
it's lonely
what
at
I
the
would
top
do.
By yourself. If you're by yourself at the top, it's very lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a nice balance. No Kim Kardashians, no Courtneys and Chloes.
No,
everybody's
like, everyone's equal.
Everyone's a Kim.
Yeah, everyone's a Kim.
Poor Courtney.
We just need a butt.
Yeah, but girl, you can buy that.
Wait. Say again.
You can buy that right here.
Yeah.
Here's your butt.
And it's not free $99, but you can give your plug at the end, girl.
Yeah.
All right, well, what is one item you could never live without? And it can be what you're holding.
Yeah, well, my mother would be like my phone. Yeah. I mean, I'm like
You gotta
on
check
it
them orders.
24/7.
You gotta check them
Yeah,
orders.
just see what's coming in.
Right?
No, yeah. If it's like that's such a bad addiction.
It really is. It's bad. Social media detox.
Like what?
Every now and again.
We need it. It's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't your phone, eliminate the phone, what would be the one thing? Because that makes it a little deeper.
It does.
Because take the phone, the phone's not an option.
Oh my God. talk about like throwing me off.
All right, we'll go to
We'll go
question
back.
3. We'll
Okay.
come. I'll hit you.
Okay, so then now, are you a morning or a night person?
You know what? Now I'm a morning person because of all the stuff going on. I know, which is like
Get out of here.
I know. When I was doing music, I like total night owl.
Yeah.
Like, and I think a lot of my creative juices would come from. I just there's something about like the night and the moon. I'm getting like totally like.
Girl, I get it as a creator. That's it's nighttime.
And it's like, and there's a little bit of like isolation that I like. Of like just like feeling myself, but like now I've been getting up so early because of like this company.
You have to.
Yeah, and which is I'm doing a collaboration with a company in the UK, so they're
She just dropped a bomb.
You just got some
Okay,
tea,
so you're
girl.
awake even before the Eastern Standard Time is popping off.
Yeah, I mean, you know, even when we work together, you
Yeah,
can text me
hello.
at like 3 in the morning,
Of
and I was
course I
like,
would.
"What's up?" Like, yeah.
Well, we already know what you
What
are.
are we
You a
doing?
very morning person.
I live for the morning.
Yeah, you're
Right
up.
and chipper.
I would
Yes.
come downstairs from those like doing like live TV, and Matt was like as if he was awake for 5 hours.
Yeah,
already.
He's like, let's
easy.
go.
I am
Yes.
not me.
You're getting there, though.
It's
You're getting there.
it's hard though because as when you're a creator, it's like it's something about nighttime that's where all my creative juices come out.
You want to round it out with one more? We're gonna round it
Yes.
out with one more.
Okay.
Pick the sexiest one on here.
Oh, okay, the sexiest one. Okay, if you had to choose
Yes.
workout clothes or a dress,
Oh,
girl.
girl, especially since like you and I have been around each other when we like to like we talk about this. We're
Yes.
always in workout clothes. So I like the cute like, oh, I'm about to plug something else. So
Yes, girl, plug it.
Wait.
yes.
We got 'em all.
So Zaj eventually is going to be an apparel line. So we're working on that. So I want to make workout clothes chic because I'm in them all the time. Because I do love a good dress up moment though.
Oh, shit.
So,
Y'all live for...
so if you had to choose, it would be a dress.
Probably a dress.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's nothing like better than like when you really feel like womanly.
That's
You're
true.
like,
Great.
I mean, you can. I mean, you know. you
Yes,
love-
I know,
You
girl.
can be dressed down and still do that.
These
But
two
it's
turn
like,
it out.
Yeah.
Who you telling?
but it's like I don't know. I like dressing up sometimes, and I feel like there's not enough of that like anymore. Even in Hollywood, like old Hollywood and all that glamour. I feel like
Really,
it's
I feel
kinda-
like I see so much fakeness of like, damn, can I just see someone's real?
What, tits and ass?
It's just, I mean, I think it's
Yes.
the opposite. But I get you're saying like old Hollywood, like,
yeah,
like
where
very
people
Classy.
classy, like yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like they were just like put together. Where now it's like everything's just kind of like
That exactly.
Tits and ass.
It's like on that note.
yeah.
Girl. Alrighty.
Cheers, a cheers.
Cheers, girl.
Yes.
Sipping.
She's sipping. All right, so where you gonna do it, girl? You're gonna look over here and where can we find the bands? Where can we find you?
So you
What's
can
poppin'?
find me, Kristine Elezaj on all social media platforms and Zaj FIt, ZAJFIT.com to get these babies.
Baby,
Yeah.
baby.
You can start toning with me.
Yes, get that,
Yes.
get that booty, get everything right and tight, get that full body, get ready for that summer 2020. You guys can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew and this little nugget at Glitty Glitz.
You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983, and I'm not gonna wake the bass, but let's dance this out and like
Yes.
give it life, girl.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Miss
Yes.
Elezaj.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh, it's a party.
Yeah, you got the wrong number. Click.